Hello and welcome to this episode of AtomicUKTV. This is the first part of a two-part film in which we're going to be showing you how to look after and maintain your skis. In this episode we're going to see what happens when you bring your skis into your local ski shop. We're going to take a look at the machine processes they'll go through and have a look at the science behind why you should service your skis. Then in part 2 we're going to look at hand tuning your equipment so you can look after your skis yourself, either out on the mountain or when you're back here in the UK. But for now, let's take a step inside and have a look at the first process in store, getting your skis assessed. This customer's bringing their skis in for a service at their local ski shop. On handing them over to the shop assistant, the assistant will be looking for a number of things with the ski. Firstly, he'll be checking the quality of the bases and checking there are no gouges in the ski that may need repairing. He'll also then be checking the sharpness of the edges and checking there is no damage or burrs to the edges. In addition to this, he'll also check if there is any damage to other parts of the ski. Finally, he'll write out what needs happening with the ski, and in this case it's a full service. So here we are in a typical ski workshop where we're going to look at the main processes in which your ski goes through when it comes in for a service. Firstly, we're going to look at base repair, then we're going to look at base grinding, base structuring, edging your ski, before finally moving on to waxing. So let's take it back to the first stage here, which is base repair. This ski we've got here, which our customer bought in earlier, you can see we've got some pretty hard gouges on the bottom of this ski. So what we need to do is move to this machine right behind me here, which is called a p-texer. Now this machine will inject p-tex material into the base at 350 degrees. Let's go and see how it works. That's the first part of this process finished now. This machine has successfully covered the entire base with a layer of p-tex material, and on its way it's filled any small holes or gouges. Now let's go and take the ski over to the sand belt and remove any excess p-tex. Okay, so we're now going to move on to the second process in our servicing today. This machine is called a sand belt, and the reason it's called a sand belt is because it quite literally uses a sand belt to sand the base of the skis. Now the first reason for doing that is removing any excess p-tex we've put on in process 1 with the p-tex machine. And secondly is to sand the base flat. Quite often if your skis aren't maintained correctly, the base can either convex or concave. Okay, so this next machine is a stone grinder. Now what we've just done is run our ski through a sand belt, which has left the ski quite rough and it won't run very smoothly on snow. So what we need to do is now run it through the stone grinder, which will put a structure into the base. So why do we need structure? To answer this question we're going to go and see what another sporting industry uses outside of the ski trade and why structure is as important to them as it is to us. So we're down here at Castle Combe Race Circuit, where car and motorcycle racers also use different tread patterns, but this time in their tyres, depending on the weather conditions. This tyre here on my left hand side uses a much shallower tread depth than this wet tyre here. You can see with this tyre, the tread is much deeper and there's a much greater level of tread pattern on this to spread the water and to disperse it across the tyre. This is exactly the same as we use with the base of a ski. So now let's go and run our ski back through the stone grinder. So we just run this ski through the stone grinder, and now what you can see is if I just clear a bit of this water away here, there's now a nice structure in this base, so this ski will disperse water correctly when it's running on snow. Okay, so we're nearly at the end of our servicing process now. We've p-texed the base, we've sanded it and we've put a structure into it. Now what we've got to do is ensure that you get maximum edge grip on those icy terrain or the hard pack pistes. We're going to do this using this machine next to me, a ceramic edger. Now this machine's actually more advanced than you'd see in many places. This can actually do the base and the side edge to any angle you specify, and this is exactly the type of machine we'd use in the Atomic factory. Let's run our ski through it now. So now we've got a perfectly edged ski. Now if you're looking closely there, you'll have seen that the machine didn't actually edge the ski in the very far extremities of the tip and the tail. And the reason for this is because we don't want it too sharp up here, because when you turn the ski in we don't want it to catch this tip. And similarly down the tail doesn't want to be locked in a turn. It has got to be able to slide if necessary. Okay, so we're now at the final stage of our machine service here. We're going to wax the ski. This little machine we've got here is called a waxer, and the reason we want to wax the ski is so it runs nice and smoothly on the snow without sticking to the snow beneath it. We're going to learn more about different types of wax in the second part of this film, but for now we're going to use a universal wax which most workshops will use on your skis. So this machine's got two rollers. The first roller rubs the wax on, and the second buffs it and pushes it into the structure of the ski we created earlier. Now this ski is ready to go onto the mountain.